Hey everybody, Mr. Zentner here with our read aloud for this week's reading. It's a longer one, so let's try to get through this as much as we can. As always, I only have 5 minutes, so I gotta go kind of quick. Anyway, this is called Where Did You Get Those Eyes? As a woman walked by a little girl who was playing with her dog, the woman asked, Where'd you get those big brown eyes? The little girl wrinkled up her face as thought about the question. After a little while, she responded in a happy tone, I got them from my dog. Why is the little girl's answer so funny? The answer is cute from a young child who does not understand how she got her traits from her relatives and the environment around her. As a middle school student, however, you know the traits originate from different sources and that your pet is not a source of any of your traits. As you read, think about your own traits and where they originated. Traits are characteristics that distinguish one organism from another. Inherited traits are traits that you are born with. Environmental traits are acquired or learned and can be changed depending upon how you interact with the world. Some traits are both. You are born with muscular structure. If you exercise with weights, you can develop larger muscles. If you have light skin, but you are outdoors in the sun a lot, your skin color changes. Traits have many variations. Hair, for example, can be brown, blonde, black, or red. But even within each of those colors, there are many shades of difference. The same thing is true for eye color. Other traits you either have or do not have. Dimples, for example. Either you have dimples or you do not. Why do scientists care about traits? The little girl had big brown eyes. Her dog had eyes that were also big and brown. So it seemed natural for the little girl that because her eye size and color traits were the same as her dog, she must have gotten them from her dog. You know that was humorous, but incorrect response. Heredity, the passing down of traits from one generation to another, gave her eyes the variation of brown and big. DNA, a molecule in the nucleus of the cell, carried instructions for the size and color of her eyes from her parents. Scientists investigate genetics, the mechanism of how traits are passed down. Why do you think scientists are interested in studying genetics? Have you ever wondered, why do my brother and I have the same nose, but our sister's nose looks a little different? Why do people say I look like my grandfather? Why do my cousin and I look more alike than my sister and I do? Why do my dog's puppies look so different from one another? Why do hamsters have the same litter but look alike, but kittens in a cat's litter do not look alike? If you wonder about questions like these, you've already started your study of genetics. Genetics is an interesting and important field of study for heredity and the variation of inherited characteristics. As you read the following section, consider the reasons why studying genetics is important. The principles of heredity explain how one generation of a plant or an animal shares similar characteristics with generations that came before it. Corn plants come from seeds of corn plants. Puppies are born from dogs that were once puppies born from another generation of dogs. Dogs and corn have very different traits. Principles of heredity always apply. But one of these principles is that some traits vary. Tall parents tend to have tall children, but everyone probably knows an example where this is not true. A short child is born to tall parents, may be exhibiting a characteristic, but had not been seen in parents or grandparents or their grandparents' parents or grandparents. Characteristics like height, eye color, or hair color are obvious through observation, but not all inherited traits are obvious. Some people may inherit a tendency to develop a certain disease. For example, you cannot see that another person or even yourself. Whenever someone actually develops that disease, however, it might depend on the factors in their environment. Many people are interested in genetics. Scientists study genetics to learn important information to solve problems. One area they study is the role of genetics in how diseases or resistance to diseases may be passed on from one generation to another through particular traits. You might imagine how this information could be helpful in preventing diseases from humans, but it is also useful in figuring out how to prevent diseases from animals and plants. Farmers are always interested in what they can do to make crops grow better. If the genes of one type of grape, strawberry, orange make them more resistant to diseases than other types, farmers will want to consider growing more disease-resistant crops. But farmers will also have to consider environmental factors that could affect the plants. Okay, there's a little bit left here. But you can finish it up for sure. I'm running out of time. You can probably see it in the bottom corner. Good luck. I hope the first little bit helped. You can absolutely do this. You've got the skills. See ya.